actually, with regards to the project that I'm working on, I just want people to come out there and try and invest in the young people, because these are the future leaders of tomorrow. And with theater, we can definitely make a big change.
So you want support?
Yes, that's what I'm basically calling for.
Okay, and right now, are you working on a specific project?
Yes, theater for development.
Theater
what I want to do is like select 5 youths from each of these regions and in-house them train them for 3 weeks. Then they go back and train 20 others. And then we come back for a 3-day festival, which is going to be a very big festival. We put them to a competition. We work on their theater skills and everything. So this is the project I'm working on, theater for development.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. It's nice to have you on the Fatu Show.
Thank you
and
very
wish
much.
you all the best.
Thank you very much.
You know, if your event is coming up, you can always come back here and we can talk some more.
Definitely.
And good luck to the baby boy. He's my birthday mate. September the 18th is my birthday.
Thank you.
And I'm glad to share the same birthday with your son.
Thank you very much.
It is the Fatu Show, and would like to say thank you very much to Kang's Classics. They did my facial today, and if you want body massage and body scrub and all of that, do not hesitate to contact Kanku Sisoho at Kang's Classics. It's at Senegambia. Well, let us take our first break now, Mahmoud, and when we come back, the show continues. We have more young people here in the studio to talk to us. Today is all about youth development. Thank you. We'll be right back. Stay tuned then.
Assalamu alaikum. Good jigeen mak aknau. You're watching the Fatu Show. It's your girl Dealer here, and the warmest of welcomes to all of you to another segment of my take. It's always a pleasure to be back. Now, this week's segment to me is an issue of concern to everyone, and specifically to the youth. Its severity is growing by the hour. It's damaging lives, leading people astray, and causing absolute serious health problems. And guess what? At the end of the day, when you waste your time, money, and health on it, it simply leads you to your death. Having said that, this gradual killer is referred to as drugs, and I've chosen it as a topic of discussion for today. Smoking among teens is a significant public health challenge. Tobacco, marijuana, and alcohol continue to be the most commonly abused drugs by teens and young adults. Educational efforts have resulted in increased awareness of the mortality and morbidity attributed to smoking, secondhand smoke, and prenatal exposure to tobacco. And well, they happen to be pretty beneficial. Short and long-term consequences of marijuana use are well documented in literature, but they have received less widespread attention. Even less well known is the relationship between these substances. I mean, does the use of one lead to the use of another? Are there any effects in the combination of one or more of these substances? We need answers to these questions to understand the prevalence of use and the negative impact it has on our beloved nation's youth and young adults. The gateway theory of drug abuse is often used to describe the progression from using alcohol or tobacco to marijuana and then to other illicit drugs like heroin, cocaine, crystal meth, crack, and the list goes on and on. Now, while tobacco use does commonly precede marijuana use, it's proposed that marijuana may be a gateway drug to tobacco smoking. That is to suggest that cigarette smoking initiation often follows or coincides with marijuana use. The most common types of drugs that people abuse fall into 4 categories: stimulants, depressants, hallucinogenics, and opioids. And while the effect of each group of drugs is different, each and every one of them is harmful to your body. Drugs affect the way your body functions and also puts you at a risk of a fatal overdose. I'm betting that most of you probably never knew this, but according to research, drugs kill more people than alcohol, even though 7 times more people use alcohol than they use drugs. Now that is an issue. Using drugs simply to see what the drug high is like. Unfortunately though, this begins the drug cycle, which eventually leads to a chemical dependency to the drug. I choose to call it having the hangman's noose around your neck. People continue to use drugs because they don't like the way their bodies feel when they come down from their high. Now this vicious cycle continues until their bodies develop a tolerance to the drugs, and this causes them to consume it in higher doses. Over time, the chemical dependency develops and their bodies don't function correctly without the drug. Addiction occurs when the chemical dependency to a drug is combined with an overwhelming urge to use the substance. Long-term use of drugs can have major damaging effects on one's body, and these include affecting sleeping patterns, causing panic attacks, involving in reckless behavior, psychosis, mood swings, and respiratory depression, to name a few. Also, while using drugs, one is endangered to developing collapsed veins, liver diseases, slow brain functioning, quick loss of concentration or memory, and most importantly, it leads to a deterioration of the respect and value that the public have in you. Telolu Darajaro Coffee. I mean, quite frankly, if you have been listening and carefully to all I've been saying, I honestly see no point in making use of substances which result to nothing but your destruction. If you're watching right now and happen to be a part of the people who might be in danger of getting into the use of drugs through peer pressure, and I say peer pressure because this is how most cases evolve. Family buba, and then that friend is like, things that are over nesa. Take this as an advice from a dear sister and don't ever do it. Because like they say, masantu lamkula mujhe tali tarawala ko jara. Now, if you're suffering from an addiction, I'd say it takes you and only you to battle it out and become a brand new you. It does way more harm than good to you, and you know it. All it takes is mind power. It's never too late to make amends. Wake up to reality. Snap out of it right now and get your life back. And believe me, coming clean after an addiction is the most beautiful feeling in the world. A girl I used to know told me those very words. In a nutshell, a responsible youth should simply say, for the love of my country, my mother, and my father. In other words, we are the fiber of society and the pillars of the good of tomorrow in our nation, and therefore should guard our health jealously. I would like to sincerely apologize though if some of what I said was offensive to some people, but oh well, rights can never be wrongs now, could they? And on that note, I thank you all for your attention. Hope to see you next week, same time, same station. Back to you, boss.
Man, that is interesting.
What's up, girl? Did you hear the latest greatest offer from Comium?
Comium? They always come in great ways. Tell me about it.
You can receive free credit without spending a batoot.
Oh, come on now.
For real. Every minute of international call you receive, Comium will give you $3. Also, every minute of crossnet call you receive, you will get $1.
All I have to do is ask all my friends at home and abroad to call me on my Comium line.
You know you can use the same credit to call, text, and browse the internet.
Wow. Call us Comium, K.
Call us Comium.
Call us Comium. Why? Comium. We are better together.
We are better together. Comium there, and thank you very much, Mudiwa. Very interesting there. And for the Gambians watching all the way from London, we are seeing your messages. Thank you very much, Lamin. You're watching with your friends and you're loving it. We appreciate your time. And you said that youth, the aspect of youth development is a very interesting topic and can definitely have a positive impact in the youth society. Thank you very much, and keep watching GRTS. At least it brings you closer to home. And welcome, gentlemen, to the program. I have Babukar Kebe and Babukar Jallo. You're both Babukar. And then you're from the United Guardians Youth for Development. How do you say this in abbreviation? Is it
UGYD?
Then how do you pronounce that?
So you have a meaning.
You?
We don't call it. We don't give it a word.
So UG. Okay, so now let's talk about your association. First, I would like you to give us a little bit of history. How did it come about? Why?
Okay, the United Guardians Youth for Development started 5 years ago.